Hey, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Controller. I'm Gladys, and joining me today are Cryptic Panther,
Hey, everybody.
Uberyoutuber,
Hello.
and our newest friend, Fatti.
What's up?
So, Beyond the Controller is going to be a gaming podcast where we talk gaming news, console and PC updates. We'll also have weekly gaming sessions where we try out all types of new games. And hopefully going forward, we'll be able to try a lot of different things. I know we're going to try to focus eventually on maybe some free-to-play games on Steam. Most of us are going to be doing PC gaming and stuff that we talk about here, but we will also include console news and updates, and we'll be playing console games as well. We're going to just roll right into it. We got a lot of points to hit today. So starting us off first with the gaming news is Cryptic Panther. Talk to us about Microsoft.
All right, so this article was just released the other day regarding the new or the upcoming Forza Horizon 4, and says Microsoft teases the first ever stream to win option built into Xbox. So anyone that's familiar with Microsoft and Xbox, back in 2016, they purchased the streaming service called Mixer. And I'll be honest with you, outside of the E3 presentation, I never really hear about Mixer. I don't play on Xbox, and even the couple friends I do have Xboxes are on Twitch and not on Mixer. So, and I know during the E3 press conference they talked about everyone on Mixer and streaming through Mixer and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell Mixer is. And then I find out later that it's a streaming service like Twitch. I'm like, well, that's interesting. TIL. And then this article comes out. New Microsoft rewards. So when describing upcoming features in this October's Forza Horizon 4, Playground Games art director Benjamin Penrose reminded us that Forza games are typically included ways to progress outside of standard races. So they have different ways to unlock paint. I don't know about cars. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I know it's like paint schemes and paint colors and stuff like that. So anyways, apparently they're teasing that they'll be able to unlock cars, new cars, and features in the game and progress the game just by painting or tuning or streaming your game on Mixer. So they're just trying to drive content to Mixer. They're just trying to get people to go on that platform. So I know it's integrated directly into Xbox Ones. You can stream right to Mixer from the Xbox One. I don't know about how you stream to it on PC, because I said I don't know about this streaming service. But the problem I have with this is people are going to stream just to get the reward. So if it's like an extra car, or if it's a special paint job, or a special set of decals, or a special set of wheels, some 14-year-old kid's just going to stream without a mic long enough to get that reward. To me, it's not really generating proper streaming. It's not like, oh, I'm going to get 15 or 30 subscribers every time I stream me playing Forza Horizon because I want this new paint job or this new set of wheels. People are just going to stream long enough and the bare minimum just to get those rewards, and that's going to be it. Because you know, like yourself on Twitch, starting out on Twitch, when you first stream, you get one or two people might view you, maybe a friend or two will drop by. But I guarantee you, most of these people on Mixer streaming to get the Forza rewards aren't going to become full-time Mixer users.
Yeah. Smart on Microsoft's part, though, right?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Try to funnel people onto their platform.
But I mean,
I would say it's more of a futile effort. I mean, it's obviously, like Panther's alluding to, it's not a genuine, it's not going to hold people. They're going to do basically a login reward. Start a stream and you'll get this, and then they'll pop back out and go back to Twitch.
or they'll just shut the stream off and keep playing the game like they were before because they don't want to live stream. And I mean, as long as it's not like stream to win, like where you need to unlock this special car only by streaming, and then you have to have like this many people on your stream at one time. Like as long as it's not like some stupid crazy requirements, and it's not like, oh, if you stream on Mixer you get this super fast car that you can use in multiplayer against everybody else type deal. Like long as it's not a unfair advantage, I don't really have a problem with it. But like I said, you're just gonna get a bunch of people that, and I mean, I said 14-year-old kids, you're going to get probably 40-year-old men or women that are just going to jump on, no mic, they're just going to stream. They don't give a shit what they're streaming. They're just going to be in the menu for 20 minutes looking at a car, and then they're going to shut the stream off once the reward pops, and they're going to move on with their day.
I'm going to be one of those people.
That's the problem with it. I think you're promoting like not a healthy stream environment. You're just kind of, you want people to stream just for the hell of it, just to get the rewards, but it's really not. You know, what's the purpose of a stream? To build a community and to grow. But it's a bit,
exactly the word that we're trying to find is retention, and it's not going to be there.
Right, it's not going to be organic, right? It's going to be like people are going to force themselves to stream. People who don't normally stream, who aren't interested in streaming, like Panther was saying, just to get that skin or that car or whatever. And now Twitch does a little bit of that. I don't know if you guys been on Twitch, but they do a little bit of little tiers and unlocks, and you know, you have to meet certain standards to become a partner and an affiliate, and they kind of have a tiered system going on. It's similar to that. It kind of looks like you're unlocking things along the way, but you know, there are reasons to accomplish these things. For example, you know, you need 75 average viewers for a month in order to become a partner, I think, or something like that. But there's reasons for that. You know, they don't want to just give that partnership to anybody.
Right.
And have ads playing on everybody's stream. You know, you kind of got to earn it. You got to have the following to do so. So it's more organic, I guess, on Twitch than it is here.
But you don't use Mixer. You don't use it either, do you, Fatti?
I've used it. I've used Mixer before.
Okay.
What's funny is I've been interested in Mixer because there is a lot of cool tools that it provides to allow your viewers to actually interact with you in a way as well. They can submit, I guess it's kind of like Twitter or Twitch's bits. It's kind of a different system, but they could submit those to actually do things in game to you for certain games. So there's a lot of support that way. But with this sort of incentive, it's kind of interesting to see if maybe it'll start dragging people over from Twitch who are looking for, you know, not only that viewership, but maybe getting something back. I could see this dragging in a lot of smaller Twitch streamers, because they're getting that reward, right? They're playing the game, but they're also unlocking something at the same time, as well as streaming themselves. So like Panther said, I mean, there's going to be tons of people out there who are just going to stream for the sake of getting them. And personally, I'm probably going to do the same thing. It's not going to be a stream of a menu, but I want new cars. But
it's
there's going to be a lot of that.
It's also going to be, if you say on average, you know, on whatever a Mixer on the Xbox platform, if they're streaming just from the Xbox, if on average, you know, maybe 500 people a day are using that, it's suddenly going to balloon up, and there'll be, you know, however many people buy the game. If they buy that game, they're probably going to want, you know, the customization or the cars or decals, whatever the feature is that they're telling you to stream for. What you're going to see is suddenly there's 50,000 streams going, you know. So I think it's going to have the opposite effect of, you know, supporting a streaming platform, because if you've got the choice between, you know, 500, 200, you know, streamers, you can tell by the view counts or however many people are participating. You can kind of tell, you know, which ones are popular, etc. But if suddenly overnight after this game is released, there's 50,000 streams, how the fuck are you going to find anybody that you're interested in that mess? There's just,
that's a good point.
There's no way.
That's a good point. The one thing I will say about my personal experience with Mixer, I tried it probably about a year ago, a few streams, and the things I liked about Mixer, now I don't know if this has changed since then. The thing I liked about Mixer was 1080p 60 frames per second, and I think that was the only option back then. Now that's a great thing, but that's also a bad thing for people who are trying to watch your stream on the road, on their mobile signal. That was the biggest complaint I got when I was streaming to Mixer, and I actually got a lot of people to come over from YouTube to watch my Mixer streams back then. The biggest complaint was that it was laggy, because, you know, not everybody has a, you know, fiber internet connection to be able to watch 1080p 60 frames per second streams. And back then there was no option to lower the resolution as a viewer, which is kind of a bummer.
That's-
And I know a lot of people had problems with that. I don't know if they've changed it since then. But the video quality, maybe that's just their standard. Maybe they want to keep that as their uniform standard. But it's not always a great thing, especially with people watching on mobile, on their commutes and wherever they may be on their McDonald's Wi-Fi or whatnot. That was the biggest complaint I had using Mixer. And that's actually why I stopped streaming on Mixer.
like I said, there's a good to it that you never know. One fellow might go, let me try this Mixer thing, and he might actually, to be a good streamer and actually turn around and actually be something entertaining to watch. But I'm thinking the majority are going to be like, okay, I need to stream for an hour. I'm just going to turn the fucking menu on. I'm going to go have fucking supper, bang the wife, or go to the store for some more booze, and then I'll come back. Who cares? That's what I see people doing, because if there's no incentive to actually do anything in game or actually do anything to draw in the viewers, then what's the point of it? To me, it's just like, they can use, we had 50,000 Mixer users this day, and we had 75,000 on Friday, and Twitch has how many millions, because everyone's on Twitch now. Like the numbers they're just trying to generate, to me, and make big numbers. And I mean, the big streamers that stream on Twitch, they're probably going to stream on Mixer, but it's not going to be if you don't have to have too many viewers or anything to get these rewards, if it's just as long as you stream, I'll guarantee you the big fellas that stream this stuff on Twitch aren't going to move all their stuff to Mixer. They're just going to stream long enough on Mixer to get these rewards, and then they're going to be jumping back to Twitch, where all their fan base and their money is.
Yeah.
Like I said, it may be good, it may bother. I just picture a bunch of people who don't care about streaming with no mics and no headsets in, just playing the game randomly, streaming while they're exploring the map, and then there's going to be people try to communicate with them, and they're not going to have a mic, no one's going to want to watch it, and they're going to be like, I can just go play my Forza and stream the same thing this guy is to get my free car. So like I said, unless they add some stipulations, or unless they constantly keep adding paint schemes or decals or wheels or whatever, if it's just a one-time thing, it's going to be one time. People are going to stream, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, the challenge is still going to be how do you find somebody that you'd be interested in watching stream if you've got 50,000 choices? There's no way for you to wade through that, to filter it to find something interesting.
Yeah.
No. So unless you already know somebody, it's going to be a fucking free for all. I see. Like I said, I've never used Mixer, so I can't see what the interface for a user's like versus someone watching. But yeah, I just don't see it as anything that's gonna turn into a substantial upswing for Mixer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a problem with the term "stream to win" as well.
Why?
I don't know, stream rewards, that's one thing, but stream to win.
Well, that's just the headline that was used in the article.
In this article?
Yeah,
that's
just for attention grabbing, really.
I mean, it's clickbait. I mean, this isn't Microsoft's official statement that it's called Stream to Win. I mean, and they've hinted at it, like they haven't even come out with an official, you're going to win like these 7 cars only if you stream on Mixer. Like they're saying there's going to be some rewards for streaming, but they're not really alluding to what progress and what this and what that's going to be. Like it gives some hints of what it could be, but there's not like an official. Microsoft today released this statement stating if you stream Forza Horizon 4 on Mixer, you get 5 new cars, 5 paint jobs, whatever. Like there's been no official anything, but this is an article that one of the I think he was, if I can find his name again, he's one of the art directors. Remind us that it's typically that you can progress outside of standard races, and this is what they're going to use Mixer for some of these type of rewards. So like I said, it could be good. Like, I mean, someone may all of a sudden get on there and all of a sudden just get a following. Who knows? That's how shit like that happens. But I just kind of see them as throwing ideas to the wall, hoping something sticks.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, we're going to move on then. The next article we've got is about Google, and that they're planning a gaming platform that could possibly take on Xbox and PlayStation. Now, over the past few years, Google's been slowly integrating itself into, planning for something in video games, and they haven't released any specifics officially, but there's apparently 5 sources in the know that have said that there is basically a three-pronged approach to Google's video game plans. And the first part of that is they'll have some sort of streaming platform to where there'll be like some hardware somewhere hosting the game, and then basically, like, if you imagine, you could just open up a tab and play The Witcher 3. Like, that's the example that's used for their streaming service. The second part of that would be some sort of hardware, which, like I just said, would be actually bearing the brunt of the requirements, to play the game. And then number three would be an attempt to bring game developers under the Google umbrella, whether through aggressive recruiting or even major acquisitions. And that's, again, from 5 people who have been either briefed on Google's plans or heard about them secondhand. So they almost acquired Twitch in 2014. Amazon, of course, stepped in and actually took that over. So Google has attempted before, to edge its way into the gaming area. And they haven't really yet. So I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of a Google streaming platform. I think that Google is an extremely well-run company. I don't know that I could see them trying to make an actual console. I don't think that's going to happen. And I think that as streaming and as everything gets more web support and everything is, more accessible like that, I think that hardware is eventually going to be phased out. And I'm kind of sad to say that, but that's just where I imagine it going. So I think that streaming is going to be more routine and more prevalent as time goes on. So I think that they would be better served just to go for some sort of streaming platform. But as of now, I mean, that's really just the rumor mill. So I think the idea of playing some type of game that would normally it would have too high requirements for you to play on your PC, or if you didn't have the money to drop for a console, that if you paid so much a month, you could open up a tab and stream from your computer regardless of its specs. I think that's a great idea. It sounds almost too good to be true. But right now we're still in the rumor section. Nothing confirmed yet. But, over the next year, 2, we'll probably hear some more about this. And especially, if it really starts to come to fruition, then we'll be talking about it more here, for sure. As well as, any other gaming outlet that you can imagine. But do you guys have anything you want to add to that just before we move on to the next? I mean, with it just being a rumor, there's not really much concrete to go on. But I like the idea of the streaming platform and not of them trying to get into hardware at all. What do you guys think?
Well, the biggest thing about this streaming services is the bandwidth that people are going to have to stream games. I mean, the whole, it's got to be 1080, it's got to be at least 60 frames, that whole thing, like, I want 4K video now, I want this, I want that. I mean, unless you're running really good network, unless you're running really good fiber or top line like DSL, and no one else is on your home network trying to watch Netflix or trying to do anything else, streaming some games aren't going to be a problem. But for people who live in areas like where I live, there's a lot of rural people here where I live. I mean, I live in one of the cities, but there's people that live in my province that have fucking garbage internet. They'd never be able to stream a full-fledged like Witcher 3. Never. Like the download speed might be fine, but you still got to upload data back and forth, right? So, I mean, like, you're lucky to get, like, a 5 meg down in the country out here where I live, even less. So,
yeah, but you guys wouldn't be the target audience for that. I mean, most people are in, built-up areas and near cities at least, and broadband is the standard now. So, I mean, it's more common than not, for sure.
Oh, and I get that. And, I mean, it's getting pretty... And even the people that live, we call the boonies around here, they're still getting... They're eventually going to be getting better internet because they're looking to push a proper service across Canada. But it's funny that, you hear them talking about the Xbox conference. They talked about, like, streaming games, and the PlayStation Now streams that streaming service. And there's also so many networks that people are on that have limits to their bandwidth for a month, too. Like, not... Like, people have capped internets. Like, I mean, I'm lucky enough. Mine's uncapped. I can upload 5 million gigabytes a month if I want to. I don't get charged for it. But people on restricted amounts of download are going to have fun. Like, there's too many restrictions on some people's internet. And like I said, and if you're on a cable line, if you have 15 people on the street in the cable line, everyone starts streaming The Witcher 3, no one's going to be streaming The Witcher 3. You know, so I mean, there's going to be limitations, and I mean, I like it as a service, but I don't know. I don't know how well it's going to work for the masses. I mean, people in large cities and stuff like that where they have access to whatever internet they want and unlimited, like, who cares? But I mean, to say like within the next, like a lot of people are saying like the next generation console is going to be the last console and everything's going to be streaming after that. I'm thinking, I don't know. You're gonna kind of put a damper on a lot of people, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this, if this comes to fruition, how this would affect console sales. You know, because hardcore PC gamers are not going to go for this. I mean, they're going to have their gaming rig and they're going to run it, 200 frames per second, whatever game they want. You're probably not going to get that streaming, no matter what. You're going to have an incredible internet connection, and they may not even offer it because it's such a small audience, probably. Now they're going for the masses. I'm thinking with this, for people who may not want to buy a console and play their Madden or whatnot, more casual gamers, and maybe even people that don't care about 4K or 1080, 60. I'm sure they're going to run like a system check, and it'll scale you down depending on your
like I said, there's definitely going to be, like you said, it's definitely interesting. It definitely opens up another avenue. But like as a gaming service, I mean, if they're going to try to get studios, I mean, Jesus Christ, we have studios dedicated to Xbox, we have studios dedicated to solely to PC, studios dedicated solely to Sony, and studios dedicated solely to Nintendo. Do we need a fucking fifth company like forcing you to buy another service or buy another piece of hardware to play AAA title games?
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be the traditional you pay for a game and you'll be able to stream it. I think it's probably going to be like a subscription service, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
You need another subscription service. In the States, you got Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Origin Access, you got PlayStation Now, you got Xbox Game Pass, and you got PlayStation Plus.
It depends on how affordable, accessible, and how far-reaching it is with their catalog. Because I can tell you right now, even with paying for Hulu and paying for Netflix and some pretty badass internet, I still pay less with those three things than I do if I had cable. I don't have cable, and I've never paid for it. But it's extremely affordable to have these type of subscription services now. Even though there's so many of them, it's still, piecemeal. And the beautiful thing about that is you don't have to have all of them. They're entirely optional. So if someone told me I could drop Hulu, I might miss out on a few different shows or whatever. But if I could keep Netflix and suddenly gain a streaming service for games, depending on the catalog, I would seriously consider that. I mean, you just choose.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I understand that. I'm not saying you have to have them all, but like I said, it's everybody was, like the whole cord cutting world where they wanted out of cable because cable was so expensive, but now everybody and their dog has a streaming service, so everybody now is, instead of paying $200 a month for crazy cable, they're up to $200 in streaming services. Like, you're trading one for another. I mean, like, I get the good and I get the bad out of it, but like, I was like, Jesus, do we need another service to have to fucking pay for it?
I can understand that, but I don't agree that it's more bad than good at all. And even if you're not necessarily saying that, I think like right now, I'm absolutely not up to $200 a month for subscription services. But,
no, but I mean, like if I'm not saying you or even me or anybody on this podcast is, but I mean, when you think about it, it's $15 here, it's $15 there, it's $20 there, it's $100 a year. It's, I mean, like I said, it starts to add up, and it's like, well, Jesus, people bitch when cable had 400 channels. Now people have 20 streaming services, and we have 5 gaming consoles or 4 gaming consoles and a streaming service, and it's like, choice is great. Don't get me wrong, but then, like I said, it's the same thing when I made the comment and I made my Twitter post just before the Xbox reveal. It's like, don't tell me Xbox is going to make some ungodly fucking reveal that's going to force me to want to buy an Xbox. You know, like that's what I'm sitting there going. Like, well, I fucking don't have time to play all my PlayStation games, all my Steam games, and don't you know? I mean, I don't own a Switch because there's really nothing there that interests me in a great deal. But don't Microsoft come out and blow me away with something I have to buy an Xbox for because I don't have time to play that. So it's like holy shit. I mean, I don't know.
And here's the thing, like, do we need it? No. But Google's trying to get their beak wet, right? And they're probably thinking, okay, how do we get into gaming? And them developing a console at this day and age and trying to compete with the consoles out there right now in the console market, that's probably a no-no. So they're probably thinking the most cost-efficient way is to go an alternate route. And since we're going towards subscription services and things like that, I think that's probably that's going to be their one in if they do want to get into
well,
this market,
if to me, if they're going to do a subscription service, they need to do where you download the game instead of a straight stream of a game. Like it's got to be Origin Access style.
But then you're tied to hardware again, right?
Yeah, that's the problem
there.
Well, even still, to stream, you're still going to have. You can't just open up a $200 laptop from Walmart and pay The Witcher 3. You know.
Well, with this Google service, how it could hypothetically work is you absolutely could do that.
Right.
Wow.
It's almost like watching somebody stream, but with you having the input.
Yeah.
That's the input.
Well,
controls,
yeah.
basically.
I mean, that's.
Now I'm curious at the lag though, like the input
like
lag.
I'm saying, like I mean, there's going to have to be a minimum. You're going to still have to have. If they're going to offer it, then they need to offer both. If you have a low-end machine, you can do a stream service, or if you have a higher-end machine that meets the requirements, you can download and play it offline. But your subscription to that game is only valid until you no longer pay, just like a PlayStation Plus.
There's actually an interesting service that's going on right now through, I think it's NVIDIA, and they have it set up so you connect to a server that is basically your gaming PC. You can run it on any kind of PC you want. It could be a $200 one you found on Kijiji or Craigslist. And you can play AAA title games, but you have to have good internet. That's the only problem. Because the service you're connected to, that's your gaming PC.
So
it's
basically,
just streaming it back.
It's a virtual console.
Yeah,
essentially.
it hosts the game for you. Yes.
Okay. All right. If that's what Google's going to do, sure. I mean that'll work in most cases.
Well, from what I'm understanding of the rumor, that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah. Well, like I said, but if they also throw the option there to then download the game as well, and it's like via like a PlayStation Plus where you can download the game, but once you no longer pay for the subscription, you no longer have access to the game. Like if they allow something like that, I mean that to me is a better service for people maybe who don't have, wicked fast internet, or maybe they're capped on their downloads every month, and instead of having to sit there and stream, a AAA title for 4 or 5 hours, that's going to chew up all their bandwidth, and they can download it one shot and play it for the whole month or 2 months or whatever. So, if they're going to do it, then if your system meets the requirements, then go ahead and offer up a download option, then I'd be definitely looking at it. But if it's straight streaming, for me, I don't care. My internet's fine, but I'm just thinking for people that don't all have fiber internet.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like I said, it's just right now in rumor. Yeah. So we have nothing confirmed and nothing solid to go on. So we'll be watching this closely, and of course, any more news that we find, we'll be discussing it. All right, so moving on here. So the PlayStation Plus games for July. Uber, talk us through them.
Yes, so these 2 games, we're talking PS4 here. There's also some PS3 and Vita games. But they'll be available on July 3rd, starting with Heavy Rain, which is one of my all-time favorite games.
Yep.
I just looked up when Heavy Rain came out. 2006. 12 years. And it's been 12 years since I played it, but you guys know how bad I am at finishing games.
Yep.
Heavy Rain is actually a game that I finished. I was absolutely hooked on it. I've never played anything like it at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited to kind of revisit that 12 years later and maybe get a different ending. I'm definitely going to try to play through that. Pretty excited about that when I saw that come out. It makes sense because Detroit Become Human.
Yep.
Released earlier this year, or just
it was last month. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little upset here because I paid $10 extra for the digital version of Heavy Rain, and now they announce it as the free game.
Ouch. Ouch.
Rough.
Not cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play this. I'll definitely download this on Tuesday and start in again. And I'm interested to see how this game holds up too, because back then I remember looking at it, like the graphics were so incredible to me back then. I thought, wow, this is like like playing a movie.
Yeah, it's a little dated now.
Yeah. When was the last time you played it?
Last week.
So is it like a full on like remaster, or is it just remastered enough so it works on PS4?
That one.
It just remastered. So it works on PS4.
Yeah, it works. It's not bad, you know. It doesn't look like shit, but it's absolutely nowhere near top of the line anymore.
It's not like what they done with Shadow of the Colossus. Son.
No, they didn't rebuild it from the ground up.
See, I never beat, or I played a little tiny bit of that game when it came out, and it was one of the games that just got left behind, and I never played it. And the worst thing is, I've watched so many different videos about people talking about it. It's been spoiled to the ass for me, so I don't. I'll probably download it like I download every goddamn game for that, but I don't play 90% of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to at least maybe something to give it a try to for sure. Yeah.
Now the other game is Absolver. I've never played that either, but that's more a recent game. It just came out last August. And it's a third-person action fighting game. It says with distinct control scheme where you can customize your moves. So I'll definitely download that as well. I watched some videos. It looks interesting. I don't know how much attention it's gonna grab with all these other great games out right now, but I'll definitely give it a shot. But to me, the big title was Heavy Rain. Personally, I was excited for that one. Now for PS3. We're getting Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess. Not sure what that is, honestly. I have no idea. And then Rayman 3 HD, which...
Well, you know what?
Arcade platformer.
Next year, we won't have to worry about talking about PS3 titles on
Plus. I wasn't even sure if I'd mention it, but it's in this article here. We'll link it below.
Yeah, the link's going to be in the description.
The Vita, I didn't even think the Vita was still a thing that people use. We're getting Space Overlords and Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. I have zero clue what.
Well, just to go off on the Vita, there was actually a game released last, I think, Thursday, that actually was a title for the Vita only. A fucking new game released.
No way.
Yeah, I fucking was watching a video and the fellow was talking about upcoming game releases, and he said this title of the game. Don't ask you what it was now, because I mean it was obscure, and it was for the Vita, which I've never played. And it's like, for the Vita, he's like, releasing the game only for the Vita. Have good fun with that. He said. He kept on going his article. I was like, so funny. It was like, shit. Yeah, have fun with that, Vita.
Right. I remember when the PSP came out, and I thought that was just the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, back then. I don't remember what year that was, but it had to have been 2002, 2004, somewhere in there. And the Vita never really took off. The PSP, I think, was successful though back then for what it was.
Yeah, it was.
I still have mine.
A lot of people bought it. Yeah. So So those are the free PS Plus games for July. Definitely pick them up if you have a PS Plus membership. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing.
Playing single player only.
Yes, old school.
All right, so then we'll flip over to the other side of the coin and the Xbox games with gold for July. Fatti, tell us what those are.
Oh, Xbox fucked us again. So for this month, we're getting just pure ass. It's terrible. We're getting, from July 1st to 31st, we're getting a game called Assault Android Cactus. And apparently it's an indie title. And this is a direct Xbox One game. It's not the reverse compatibility games that they give out as well. It's an actual Xbox One game. So you play as an android cop called Constable Cactus, and you basically it's a rail shooter essentially. That's
so my question is it Xbox One X enhanced?
Probably.
Is that one of their exclusive titles?
Oh yeah, definitely is. And then from July 16th to August 15th, we have Death Squared, another indie game for the Xbox One that'll be released, and that's kind of a multiplayer puzzler game. I've watched a video of it. Doesn't seem like the most thrilling thing, but that's pretty much what we've come to expect from these games with gold. They've been terrible relatively a while now. The last good one was May, and that was even subpar. As for the reverse compatibility games that they release every month, from July 1st to 15th, we have Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, which is actually a pretty good fighting game. I've always enjoyed Virtua Fighter, and getting this for free, I'm definitely going to boot it up and give a few rounds in. And then from July 16th to 31st, we have Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. Honestly, I haven't played a Tom Clancy game in a Splinter Cell game. I've played some Tom Clancy games, so I haven't played a Splinter Cell game in years.
Right.
So I don't even know which one this is, like where it falls in the timeline, but I mean, it's probably going to be the same stuff, you know, stealth, shoot people, blah, blah, blah. I'll probably play it.
So the compatible games are actually better than the Xbox
yeah,
games.
yeah, and that's
right?
how it's been for months now. Is the Xbox 360 games we get are way better than the Xbox One games we get, and it's sad.
Interesting, and they stagger their releases.
Yeah,
unlike Sony.
Unlike
right? So
like the PlayStation Plus, you have to wait for a certain time period to get these games. You don't just get them all unlocked at the first of the month.
I always thought that was strange.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, especially if they're going to announce it at the same time.
Exactly. Like, and who says they don't announce a good game from July 1st to 31st, and you miss that time? Like, you for some reason don't have an internet connection, you miss out on claiming that game.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
They're not available for the whole month to download?
So the Xbox One games run for a month, and then the 360 games run for half a month.
Oh, okay.
But now, once you download them, you can play them forever, right?
Yeah.
As long as you have, as long as you have your gold account, right?
Well, no, if you have them downloaded on your system, and then your gold runs out, you can still play them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're there forever, but if you delete them and then try to download it again, you're shit out of luck.
Well, PlayStation's opposite. If you don't have a PlayStation account, a Plus account, you can't play a Plus game without it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one plus, but again, most of these games suck, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Virtua Fighter. I'll probably download that, and I might download Splinter Cell, but yeah, the Xbox One games that didn't spark my interest at all.
Yeah, they're kind of garbage. I'm not gonna lie.
Officer Cactus.
Well, the PlayStation ones are usually garbage as well. Honestly, I mean, it seems like they blow their load on getting like one decent game, and the rest are just indies. And
yeah,
you know,
there's always one to catch it, and then the rest are just like, oh, here's this other stuff.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad because the Humble Bundle has been doing the same fucking thing to me. It's been getting a little frustrating, you know. They'll announce like one or two games as the early unlock, and I'm like, oh yeah, I really want that game, and then the rest are just absolute trash. All right, so moving on here, Panther, the creator of Uncharted, has departed EA. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so anyone that's familiar with Amy Hennig, she was, I don't know, you speak to some people, she left on her own from Naughty Dog, others say she was pushed out. During Uncharted 4, there was some development issues, and she was kind of taken off the project, and Neil Druckmann was put on it to fix the game, and they apparently rewrote a bunch of the story and fixed it and released an amazing game. Well, she went over to work at EA in Visceral Games, and the team was given one of the Star Wars games, and it was supposed to be like a single-player, story-driven game, and this is what the community has wanted for so long. And then EA, being fucking EA, decided, nah, we're just going to shut down that whole gaming division and scrap the whole project. So that was back in October, and we haven't heard nothing on any of the team. There's really been not really much said, no big news about any more development or what the team that was formerly Visceral, what they were doing. And at the Game Lab conference in Barcelona, Amy Hennig was revealed to Eurogamer's Rob Perche, I pronounce his last name, that she is actually parted ways with EA as of January, but it was never announced. There was no discussion, there was no interviews, EA never released press information on it, nothing. And she has been frustrated with this, saying that basically I am not, and I have not worked at EA since January, technically and legally, and this is a problem because people are asking her questions and she's not allowed to say yes or no. She just kind of has to give broad, really answers without saying that no, she no longer works at EA. And she says that she gets along with a lot of the people still there and considers even the guys on the exec team as friends. But what I find odd is the fact that Amy Hennig, unfortunately, the whole thing at Naughty Dog, cut a bit of a mark on her because, she done really well with the other Uncharted games she's worked on. 4 was a train wreck for a while until Neil Druckmann and the other producer, I can't remember his name, were put on it to fix it. She goes to Visceral, and all of a sudden, within no time at all, their project gets scrapped and the whole division gets shut down. But EA is known for buying and shutting down studios. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if they get off on it. But they basically just took, at one time, a well-respected writer and pulled her off a potential massive project and shut down a gaming company. I said it just seems really poorly handled by EA. And now she looks like she's going to be trying to doing some freelance work and like some consulting work, and even start a small independent company doing some VR work. So all the best, because like I said, she worked on the first few Uncharted games. I love those games. So hopefully she can get turned around and produce some cool stuff. I'd love to see a story-driven VR game.
But does that really surprise you about EA?
No.
Well, no. It's EA, and
hell no.
They were given the Star Wars license, and they've just been sticking their cock in it the whole time. But, it's just odd that, here we are, it's July 1st as we're recording this, and this article was just released on the 28th of June where she can finally tell people that she no longer works at EA after almost 6 months, actually 6 months. It's ridiculous. I don't know how someone could go from Uncharted 1 and I don't know if it was 1, 2, and 3 or 2 and 3. I can't remember what she worked on, but I know she worked on the first 2 Uncharted games to being top dog with Uncharted, and then all of a sudden falling apart on 4, going to EA, and then Visceral getting shut down. That's pretty shitty. I don't know if she's fell off the wagon and she's gone crazy, but it's just I don't know, just a kind of a fall from grace in my eyes, and poorly handled.
EA has that effect on people.
I was gonna say that is the reason the EA closes studios all the time and cancels shit is because any misstep at all, they seem to just cut the cord. There's no restructuring to make it better or anything like that. Just they say fuck it, you mess up and the whole thing is gone, and probably the studio as well.
Yeah,
right.
well,
and the brightest minds that work there don't make the decisions, which is the saddest part.
Yeah.
They don't have as much input as some people may think, so it's tough. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's a bummer because I'm sure she's very talented, and she may have just made the wrong career move at one junction in her life, and now
Yep.
Hopefully she'll get on her feet and start up a studio, whatever she may do. Hopefully it'll be good, but yeah, that's a bummer.
Well, there's a lot of these big names that have left studios or left projects because of upper management, and they're starting their own companies. She's working independently right now, and she plans on staying independent. So, you never know. But like I said, it's just wow. Amy Hennig at one time was is not saying she's rock star famous like some of the big developers now in the last 2.5 years. But it just kind of sucks that someone of that talent is being screwed over.
Right. On a bit smaller scale, but Rex Dixon, the creative director for Madden, for many years, at least 6 or 8 years now, he left EA recently, and he signed on with a mobile game studio.
Jesus.
And although I don't know why he left, I'm sure it has something to do with maybe his creative direction that they didn't take or they didn't listen to him. Maybe.
Well, he probably told them that he wanted more than a roster change each year, so they were like, "Oh, get out."
Exactly. Exactly. That's what happens. People are passionate about these games, and people that work on these games are really passionate too. And if you just continue to be roadblocked, eventually you're probably better off going to a smaller studio where you may have more input on the direction of the game. And I think that's what's happening, you know.
Yep. Yeah, it happens, and it happens a lot with EA, unfortunately. They're just known for being shit like that.
Yep.
All right, moving on here. Our next news spot is pretty interesting for me, actually. I'm really excited for this. So 343 Industries has announced as of 6/28 that they're working with some different people, and they've announced a Halo TV series that's going to air on Showtime. And now it's not going to be, he's not directly involved in it, but Steven Spielberg is a name that they dropped. And he's been said to have been a gracious partner in helping put together the right creative team to bring Halo to television. So I think he's just more kind of like overseeing the organization of the background and like who's who, and probably dropping some names, you know, to get involved with the project. But it's not going to be, you know, directed by Steven Spielberg. But either way, I mean, obviously that's a good name to have in your bin. You know, that's a big name in TV. So they've got the showrunner from Lone Star, Kyle Killen, and the director Rupert Wyatt from Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and both of those guys, I guess, are going to be running the series. So with it being on Showtime, I don't know. I feel like Showtime really is hit or miss. With HBO obviously being their biggest competitor and HBO being bigger, you know, in and of itself, Showtime has always had an uphill battle as far as creating its content, especially original content. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited that we're going to see something from Halo. I just hope that it's, you know, it's gritty and brutal, and it shows us something that hasn't been covered by the countless other iterations of different media platforms of Halo. To, you know, we've had half a dozen games, we've had plenty of books, graphic novels, we've had a couple animated movies. There was a live-action one, I think, that was just a short. But we've had plenty of different explorations in the Halo universe so far. So I'm really, really hoping that they can do something different, or if this is focused on something that we haven't seen yet. I just don't want it to be a retreading of the same Halo stories that we've seen. But other than that, I'm excited. We don't have any more information yet. They are in pre-production as of right now, and they're planning on going into full production in 2019. So we probably won't hear much from this project, at least for the next 6 or 8 months or so. And then once they start full production, I'm sure will be a slow leak of information telling us more about this project. But so far, I mean, I'm taking this as a good sign. I'm cautiously optimistic for this, but yeah, we'll see some more hopefully in the next year, and I'd really love to get behind this show if it's any good. So we'll see.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean,
Halo, Steven Spielberg mentioned that to me. I'll definitely watch the first episode. You know, what do you have to lose? You burn an hour of your life. I mean, that's okay. But yeah, I'm with you, Baker. I want to see a completely different take. I want to see something fresh, completely new. You know, I want them to go, you know, just start this back up, not retread.
Yeah.
You know, start this back up and do something completely new and creative. But yeah, I'm intrigued. Intrigued is probably my word for it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm wondering if they're going to focus more on, you know, maybe some of the lesser known Spartans, or, you know, if they're going to do like a Band of Brothers style, you know, for any of the other groups, you know, that would fight in all these things. I'm wondering how much they're going to explore the Covenant or anything like that. You know, like they've got a lot of options, and it could be interesting depending on which direction they decide to go. It's just, you know, I don't want them to try to spread it so thin that they try to include like this massive universe in one series, because I almost feel like it's just too much to tackle. They need to like put a microscope on it and really focus on something and show us, you know, the personal stories of somebody. But just I don't want to see Master Chief. Strangely enough, like in a Halo series, like I've had enough of him. I want to see something different.
Well, here's the thing with that. I mean, I like this statement they put in the article. It says, the biggest challenge often can be finding the right balance between moments fans have already experienced and moments they have yet to experience through a different medium. So I mean, they're still going to have some of the, the moments that happen through the Halo universe already, as kind of like, oh yeah, as a fan of the game, be like, oh, I remember this part of the game, this is cool, but then, oh wow, that's fucking cool, I've never seen that before. That's going to be their big challenge, and if they can pull that off, they definitely have an opportunity with something. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. And the only thing I want to say on this is the head of Transmedia and 343 Studios, her name is Kiki Wolfkill. That is fucking badass. Like, that is a name and a half. Like, I just like to see that on the fucking screen, Halo, and then executive or whatever her title would be, Kiki Wolfkill. Like, that's, I'm done. I'm in all the way.
Pastor or something.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, we'll probably hear more about that. Sometime early next year, maybe a few months into the year. But 2019 they'll be in full production, and we'll hear some more details. Moving on now, we're going to go back to Uber, and you're going to tell us about a little bit of the loot box controversy. What's going on with that?
Discussions to do.
Yes, a subject near and dear to my heart, as you guys well know.
Depends on how
my numerous pack
people
openings.
decide
The Australian Senate Committee is launching an inquiry in microtransaction loot boxes, and they're investigating whether they constitute gambling and to what extent they may be harmful if it does. While the inquiry won't change any policy itself, it could inform future laws. I found this article on a website, Rock Paper Shotgun. But I've checked it, and there's a lot of articles that state that this is actually happening. Now, interestingly enough, EA announced on the same day that this article dropped, at least from what I could see, is that they are going to reveal the odds on FIFA Ultimate Team, the odds of the packs, basically, or what your rewards may be in those packs. So I'm curious if EA is doing that as a preemptive strike to try to kind of lessen the blow. I know Belgium and the Netherlands, they both outlawed loot boxes, such as in FIFA Ultimate Team or in Overwatch or whatnot, where you pay to get a loot box, and it's really a game of chance of what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting, and as a person who has spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on loot boxes and pack openings, for my YouTube channel, and then watching my audience and the demographic of my audience, mostly kids, mostly underage people, and then just seeing their reactions and how many people actually buy these loot boxes with their money or their parents' money. This is interesting. I think the more countries that are going to start investigations and possibly outlawing it, it could really change the landscape of these games, especially these sports games, where the loot boxes are so expensive, and it is a pay to win. Unlike some other games where it's purely cosmetic. I mean, really, if you want to play these game modes, like FIFA, for example, in order to get a better team, you need better cards. I mean, it's all stat-driven, and buying $100 loot box or bundle doesn't even guarantee you a certain stat or a certain player or a certain boost to your team. So it's going to be super interesting to see here in the coming years if more countries actually outlaw this. What do you guys think about this?
I think this is a direct response to the Battlefront 2 controversy, where they had to completely do a 180 on how the game was designed because it was built around these loot boxes. Now, traditionally, it's sports games and mobile games that are the cash cows for loot boxes, and with EA and the whole debacle they had on the release of Battlefront 2, they were very much in the crosshairs of loot boxes being gambling, and they were the ones that got the ball rolling on some of these countries taking a closer look. And I think one of the congressmen from Hawaii, one of our own legislators, actually was taking a look at introducing a bill to outlaw these things. So it's become a lot more widespread now legally for these to have been popping up in cases. And
like this.
yeah, I mean, I'm all for saying fuck them. I hate it. I hate the whole thing. I hate the idea of it. I think that it's that quick fix. It is exactly for me gambling, and to not be able to guarantee an outcome. You pay a certain amount of money for the product already, and you can't experience the full product unless you drop more money in some of these instances. And it's absolute bullshit. It's completely taking advantage of the customers, and it's not what games for me ideally are supposed to be. I think it's a complete just it destroys the joy that you get out of the shit, and just turns it into a roll of the dice and just giving more money to these fucking awful companies.
Yeah,
It's an addiction. It's an addiction, and Uber, you know it yourself. I mean,
oh no, I know.
It's like
I know.
It's back when I was my younger days, man. Like buying hockey cards and shit, man. Like it's a fucking addiction. No,
it really is, and I know a lot of kids. They spend every dollar that they get, whatever, birthday money, Christmas money, from various jobs or whatnot. They spend it on in-game currency, and it's kind of sad, Especially like Baker said, you already pay to play this game. These games aren't free to play. I mean, you're paying a premium to play these games, and the thing that bugs me, the biggest thing that bugs me, especially with these sports games, because I'm at the core I'm a sports gamer. That watching in these past 10 years, watching the development just go towards these game modes specifically,
yep.
and them just not even progressing the rest of the game, but just these Ultimate Team loot box game modes. I mean, that's where you see the biggest change from year to year in all these sports games. Aside from the roster update, you see the biggest development on these game modes, and there's a reason for that. That's where the money's coming from. That's the cash cow. But it's sad. It's sad because kids are they're not forced to play this, but if they're gonna want to have a good experience, they better pay up. They better pony up, and that's sad.
Well, that's the problem with also like not just like EA, but San Diego Studios with MLB. I mean, it's buying packs, and yeah, I know you can earn packs without buying them, but it's either buying packs, and then this is kind of bleeds into the pay to win, is you can use real world money to buy ball players off the market. Like that's another thing. You pay $60 or $100 or whatever you pay for the game, what version, and then you turn around and you can buy better players than anybody else. It becomes a pay to win. So the whole loot box thing, and the packs is still a pay to win in the sort, because the fact that I can buy $100 worth of packs and I can get 5 or 6 really top players, then someone who can't afford to buy packs or buy players is going to be stuck with hopefully getting something out of one of the game modes that's worth anything. Like
right. Now here's the thing. You're right. The one distinctive difference between MLB The Show, I will say that, and all these other EA games and NBA 2K. Now MLB The Show only has one form of currency. You put $100 in, you get this many stubs. You get 150,000 stubs. You can use those stubs for whatever you want. You can just buy the players outright, or you can buy packs and have a chance at a player. Here's the difference, though. The EA Sports games and the NBA 2Ks of the world, you are converting your real-life money into a currency that now you can't buy these players outright. You actually have to buy packs for a chance to get these players.
Yeah. That's where I was going to hop in and say pay to win is bad enough, but pay for a chance to win is worse.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it. So although MLB The Show in a way is pay to win, because the better your team, the better chance you have at winning. At least you can buy it outright, to where on all these EA games you just have a chance to get this player.
Right. I get it.
That's even worse.
But I mean, how are they gonna get back to the FIFA? How they're gonna put on the potential for reward? So it's gonna be like you have a 10% chance to get a gold player, whoever ranked the gold. I don't know how they work in FIFA,
yep.
But I mean, is it gonna be a 10% chance of the gold? So is that random for every pack you go to buy, or in other words, is this $1 pack? You have a 12% chance. This $2 pack, you have a 25% chance, and this $4 pack, you have a 98% chance. Is that how they're going to do it? So it turns into the same fucking thing. They're just wording it different.
Yeah. No, you're
So
right.
their pension.
Well, it's not the exact same thing, because even if they say, it's a 90% chance, hypothetically, you could still buy 10 of those packs, and those would be the most expensive ones. And just because it's chance, you could still, roll the dice and come up empty.
Oh, I get it.
Right.
I get it.
It's essentially a slot machine.
But
is
what they're
it
going to
is.
do, to circumvent this percentage put on packs, and I mean, if they haven't thought of it, I'll be surprised. Is $1 packs will be this percentage, the $2 packs will be this percentage, an increasing percentage for increasing dollar amounts. So it's making it fucking worse.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if EA's listening, suck my arse.
Yeah.
You know
I
they're
can't wait
listening.
to
You
see
know
all this
they're listening.
Yeah, they're paying close
see.
attention to us.
I really hope more countries, more states, more people are aware of this.
For
'cause
sure.
It is, yeah, it's only getting worse.
Yep.
And,
Absolutely. Now, I'm definitely more positive about the gaming community and their reaction to this stuff, because it's been going pretty much unchecked for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yes.
But with Battlefront 2 and with the staggering amount of negativity that came from that, now it basically killed the game. The game was sacrificed, for the greater good.
But that was huge, right? That was
Yes.
huge. Disney got wind of it. Everybody, mainstream media got wind of it. That was huge for us, for gamers.
Yes.
That was a
thought that
win
was a
for
great-
us.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It was everybody standing up and say, you know what? Go fuck yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. And like I said, now they've got less than however many developers, but it's basically shoestring. They actually Battlefront 2 just released the roadmap for the next year of content, and from now to a year from now, there's only one new map that's confirmed and 4 new heroes. And this was again supposed to be their live service, quote unquote, to where it's constantly getting updated and shit. But once we took, their monthly bills out, once they got rid of the microtransactions, they just fucking cut the cord. And
that's the only bummer. The people who are making these games, they really weren't behind this. It was the people in suits that decided on this, and that's the bummer, right? Like, people lost their jobs over this. People that weren't behind this decision making,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure almost entirely the entire team was moved, because it's DICE still. I'm sure they all just went to Battlefield 5. But
Right.
but even so, this was a game that they said was an apology for the first one, and then with the 180 that they had to pull and redesigning the game, to take out the focus on the loot box progression system that they had built. Like I said, this game got sacrificed, and that's a damn shame, because since Disney has given EA the sole rights to Star Wars, we've only had 2 games: Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2.
Oh, don't forget about the yet unnamed game that's coming out sometime by somebody in the next 5 years.
But they've had it for 5 years. That's my thing.
That's what I'm. Oh, I get it, man. I mean, Disney was fucking stupid.
Yep. Well, and it really just depends on their focus, though. I mean, now we're treading into stuff that we're just floating in this discussion. But if Disney was focused on making money, EA is a great company for that. They do. They make money, man. The problem is that they're not focused on gaming for gaming's sake. It's gaming as a way of making money, and how they do that is extreme monetization. And how much can they milk from people? And they tried to do it on an FPS, which really hasn't, I don't think, been done to such a level before, and that's why they got the
and a AAA franchise, like the name Star Wars.
Yes.
You're getting people that aren't not just hardcore gamers, but you're getting fans of the franchise, of the brand, Star Wars, the brand. So it put them in a bad light.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, let's let's move on. Well, I mean, we'll hear more about it, I'm sure. It's still ongoing. It's still developing.
Oh, yes.
So them putting the odds on landing a top star, I mean, that's a step in the right direction, or maybe half a step. They're shuffling there slowly. But I'm absolutely positive it's in response to an actual investigation into them and certain countries saying that they're not going to allow it anymore. So it's a show basically for them just to say, hey, we're trying to do this, trying to paint themselves in a better light. All right, so Fatti, talk to us about Corsair and Elgato. This will be our last subject before we get into the what we were playing this week. So go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so Corsair, the PCMR gods, basically, they've acquired Elgato Gaming. Elgato is a company that makes basically peripherals for streaming. They have capture cards, a fold-up green screen, all those types of different things. And so Corsair announced a few days ago that they actually bought Elgato. There's not a whole lot of information about what they plan on doing or how much they bought it for. The little tidbits that they did give us is Elgato's sort of smart home company that they have set for themselves, which is Elgato Eve. That'll continue to be independent, but their gaming brand is going to be basically blended into Corsair. Even on Corsair's site right now, if you look at it, they have an Elgato Gaming section under their products. It takes you to the Elgato site, but I assume eventually it's going to lead to them sort of basically phasing that out or making the brand underneath them. What I could see this becoming is sort of Corsair trying to branch out and sort of enter the streaming area as opposed to just providing peripherals for playing gaming. I imagine at some point we're going to see a Corsair branded streaming or capture card be released as opposed to seeing the next Elgato card or something along those lines. At the moment, there's not a whole lot else that is out there on it. So we're kind of just sitting here waiting for information, but the deal's gone through, and personally I'm excited to be able to buy my next streaming card with full RGB support.
Jesus,
that's pretty slick.
I mean, that's where it's going, right? We're gonna have the next HD 120 card sticking out of the back of our computer with a full rainbow spraying at the back of it. So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna
I wouldn't mind a Corsair keyboard with a built-in capture card. I could just plug in my US or my HDMI.
You know what I would like to see is Elgato has the Stream Deck, which is basically a little adapter that you can put on, and it has keys to do different things for your stream. Give us a keyboard that has that already installed, something unified like that. I don't need any more desk real estate being taken up by additional add-ons if I can have it all in one. That's
in
what
other
I'd like
words,
to see.
give me a row of keys above the F keys for streaming.
Exactly, and
That'll
they don't
happen.
even have to be that big.
Well, hey, there you go. There you go, Corsair. We know you're listening. They got.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. Just
have your people talk to our people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty.
But
good.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what'll come out of this, but I imagine Elgato would probably disappear or become a smaller brand underneath Corsair, and we'll get some nifty things that are kind of a combination of what they do present together.
Well, Elgato's been really pushing the market in like the Stream Deck, and they've been every so often. Like, I mean, I follow them on Twitter, and it's always, oh, check out this new piece of hardware. Oh, check out this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how many fucking pieces of Elgato capture devices do we fucking need?
And I will say this: every item at Elgato cost $149.
Well,
Everything.
I'm not.
You're just like, oh, that's pretty cool. How much is that? $149.
I have.
No matter what it is.
I have an Elgato HD60 that I don't even use anymore because the fucking thing's a piece of garbage. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you'll be able to get one with RBG support pretty soon. So,
Ooh, I'll definitely sell it $195 Canadian for that. Not. I'll just use OBS. It doesn't cost me $180 with RGB lighting, so which I have none anyways. My case is solid black, so I don't even need fucking fancy ass rainbow lights. My keyboard's backlit. That's enough.
All right, so moving on to the final section here. This is the last of what we're going to talk about. Well, it actually really just shows. So, each week our goal is going to be to play something, and it may be the same game, for a couple weeks if we really enjoy it. It may be different every week. There's no, set in stone way that we're going to do this yet.
Yeah,
but a section that we wanted to include in each podcast here is kind of a what did we play this week, and kind of highlight some games that maybe is not, massive, or maybe they are bigger releases and we just want to get our hands on them and talk about them, or maybe we want to highlight a free-to-play game that may be worth your time and maybe you just want to stay away from. So we've got a lot of options and variety that we're going to explore eventually for this particular section of what did we play. So on today's episode, we're talking about Dead by Daylight, and this is a game that I have been into for quite a long time, and I've been trying unsuccessfully to get others in my gaming circle to play this game, and eventually it came down to me actually buying the game for one of our other members here. But we finally did it. We all got together on the same game, and we had a fucking blast. It was awesome. So before we go any further, let's take you to some highlights from some of the games that we played today. Wrecker's Yard.
There's Jenny not that far from me.
Doesn't look so morose.
I'm starting right beside a generator.
I'm right next to Dwight.
I'm sprinting to this fucking generator.
Oh yeah, we're together.
Yeah, and in front of us, that generator, someone else is there.
Fuck.
Oh, let me do 2 box repair.
Right by the hook. Convenient. Yeah, I'm by a generator here.
We're halfway up on this one.
Ah, shit.
Oh, I saw him.
That's it.
Fuck you, boy.
I'm
Did
staying.
you still see him? You got him?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. It's very important to call that out so we know to continue or not. Oh, I see him chasing you. Go the other way. Just about got this one. Hell yeah.
Fuck.
I'm right behind you.
Okay. Oh, hang on. We got one right here. I see him. He's coming towards us, Panther. Fuck.
As soon as you said that, I got to check repair my fucking screen.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
I'm about 50% on this generator.
Ah, he's on me! Not me!
I don't know where you're at.
I'm just
I can hear
fucking...
the heartbeat. I know you're close.
I ran away. I'm not near you. I ran the other way.
Yeah.
Fuck. He's gonna be coming my way here in a second.
Oh, generator.
And I got this generator about 65-70%.
Nice.
He's right by me. He's right by me. I jumped in the box. Alright. Now he's going back towards you guys, I think.
Oh, I see him.
That's probably coming looking for me.
Well, I just popped the generator, so he's probably coming to me.
I'm going back to the generator. Oh, I'm actually closer than I thought.
Oh, I just dodged him.
Alright, I got one going.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck!
Is he after you?
Yeah, he's on me.
Alright.
If he's on you, I'm going back to my generator.
Mine is going. I'm heading in the box.
lost me.
That's
Just
50%.
thought I just saw him.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, he's on me. I'm gonna play Ring Around Rosie with him for a little while here.
Yeah. Well, he'll catch you. He's faster than you, just barely.
That's all right. I'm running around the fucking car and he can't.
I know. I can see you.
Oh, no. Ah, he caught me. Oh, shit.
Come on. Fuck.
see him coming towards me here.
Let go.
Oh, he's coming this way. No, come on, you fucking generator. Okay, he
Got
still
me.
has you.
He's got me, so yeah. Oh, I almost get out. He got me on the hook.
Fuck this
Fuck
I
thing.
see you,
yourself.
Panther. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna hit you.
He just went invisible, too.
Yeah,
He's...
I see him.
I'm almost done on one generator.
Yeah, same here.
Work on your jennies. Work on your jennies, son. Just leave me a hang here and bleed.
Alright, got another one. I'm coming first.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I just got another one.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, shit.
Fuck yeah.
Good job so far, guys. I'm working on the last one.
Yeah, he's after me, guys. Oh, watch out! Watch
Good.
out!
Oh, fuck, he got me. I got a flashlight. What does a flashlight do?
Flashlight, you can use that when he's carrying somebody. You can shoot, like, aim it at his face and blind him and it'll drop them.
Oh, shit. That would have been perfect for anyone else but me to have.
I don't know where the last generator is.
Is anyone near Fatti? I'm working on the last generator.
Yeah, it's a me.
I need somebody just to distract them.
I'm by the door, but
I'm gonna work my way over there so I can get him.
Are you close to Fatti?
Not that far away.
He's hanging around, so...
Good.
Oh, he's coming for... He's coming. Go. Go, go, go. Oh, no, he's still looking.
I'm almost there.
He's hanging around, though.
Good, I'm
by the
almost
door.
there.
He's
I'm
right to
right
my
by
right.
the door, so I can.
Is he right there?
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right. I'm by the door.
I'm near you.
Is he still
I can't
hanging
do it
around?
with you.
No,
Oh, you
you're
can't.
good. Come on.
Okay, keep
Go
an
save
eye
him.
out. Keep an eye out.
We got a door over here. Follow me.
Okay.
There's one over here.
We're about 70%.
He's here, he's here.
Oh shit. All right. We're about 80%.
Yeah,
Who's picked up?
he's got Uber.
Oh, and there's a hook right here too.
I know, I'm pulling the door. Door's open.
I'm out.
Save him. Go, 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 go. Run, 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 run.
Yeah!
Go!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
Nice, boys.
Shit.
Shit,
Hell yeah, man.
Wow.
Wow. That's fucking intense.
Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed those clips, and we might be playing some more of this. I know we talked about doing it just, aside from the podcast. We'll probably get together again and do it anyways just for fun. But Dead by Daylight, for those of you guys that don't know and didn't pick up on the clips, it's 4 survivors and 1 killer. There's a ton of variety in the maps. There's been a lot of DLC that's been added to it, so there's a new map almost every time you play, it seems like. A lot of different killers that are very distinct and challenging in their own different ways, and trying to survive against them and work together as a team is like just really intense and very, very anxiety inducing. So we sweat bullets while we play, but it's a lot of fun. So Uber and Fatti, this was your guys' first time playing. What did you think real quick about it?
It was good. I had a lot of fun. I thought going into it I would just get slaughtered instantly, but it doesn't have that crazy of a learning curve, which was nice. And it's just like you said, there's a lot of variety in the play style. You don't know what map or what killer you're going up against, and that provides a lot of replayability.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree, and I like that there's different style killers hunting you down, trying to kill you, with different abilities. That kept it fresh, and like Baker alluded to, a lot of different maps. I don't think we played the same map twice in our probably 2 hours of playing together. Really enjoyed it. It scared the shit out of me at times. But I really like the teamwork aspect of it. When you get a group of 4 buddies together and you start playing this, it's really, really fun. I can only imagine it would be a lot of fun with 5 people too, having one of the friends be the killer. and then maybe rotating in and out of being the killer. I haven't gotten to play as the killer yet, or as the hunter. But yeah, I've had a ton of fun. That was some of the most fun I've had in a long time playing with friends together. So thank you, babe. Thank you for forcing me to play this, because it's one of those games, that's been out for a while, and I kind of, it looks kind of cool, but I don't know. And it was perfect, man. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then Panther, you and I had played 1 or 2 matches a long time ago, but coming back to it now, you feel the same way as everybody else, that teamwork is the real drive behind this.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was one of the games that when I picked it up and we played it, I don't know, about 4 or 5 matches one night or something like that. And I had a fucking blast. And it was just one that we just never kind of get back into playing. And yeah, when we mentioned we were going to play some games for this, I'm like, well, let's do this, because this game is fucking fun. And I mean, it's not a hard game to learn. So, I mean, at the time of this recording, in July 1st, it's on sale on Steam for like $10 or something. I'm not sure what it is. I know you picked it up today, so
yeah,
you can
it was
say
$9.99.
like, yeah, $10 or $12 Canadian or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this before the 5th of July, it's on the Steam sale. I know it's been in a humble bundle before, stuff like that. So keep an eye out, man. If you think the game's fun or interesting, there's going to be some more gameplay on the channel outside of the podcast of this as well. So check that out. And yeah, I mean, check my channel and everyone else's channel, because I mean, I'm going to put some stuff up and some different things like that. But we're definitely going to have some gameplay of the actual stuff outside of the highlights in this podcast on the actual channel. So if you want a more in-depth look, definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So I think what we're planning on doing is, we'll discuss the games that we played this week, each episode, and then aside from that, like we'll include some highlights, like we just showed everybody, well, a few clips, however long, and probably some fails and maybe some successes as well. But with each game, we should have plenty of opportunity to show a couple clips. But aside from that, I think the plan right now is to also include, the full length matches. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can definitely put up. Yeah, we can put up the full length matches on the channel, and people can, like I said, watch them and judge maybe a little more gameplay and see, a full on match. I mean, we're not going to probably put a full on match in the podcast, because they can drag on. I mean, if you get a whole bunch of guys that know what they're doing, we can drag it out pretty good and really work the killer hard. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to put up some full playthroughs on the channel for sure, so that you can really get the enjoyment and listen to us scream.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this particular episode. There is more stuff that we didn't get a chance to, just because we want to try to keep the time a little tight for you guys. We know and understand that not everybody has a tremendous amount of free time, and we thank you guys for sticking through to the end with us, of course, and joining us here. So thank you very much for joining us. First episode of Beyond the Controller. Once again, I'm Gladys, and on behalf of Panther and Uber and our new friend Fatti, thank you guys very much. All the info that we talked about today is going to be linked in the description of the YouTube video, and we also will have all of our Twitter handles and any Twitch or YouTube channels that we have. Everything will be linked as well, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys next week with I don't know if it's going to be the same game, or we'll maybe have a new one, and any gaming news that we find out between now and then. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, any suggestions for games that you want us to play, just let us know, either on Twitter or on a comment here on the video, and that's going to be it. So for all of us here at Beyond the Controller, thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time.